Hey everybody, this is Salar and you're welcome to this exciting course on C Sharp. We are learning C Sharp step by step. In the previous lecture, we covered date time struct. Date time struct is used to work with date and time in applications. We have also covered the tools which are used to create logic in a program, like if statements, switch statements, etc. So now we are in a very good position to learn another essential tool, programming tool, which is called loop. Almost every program does some sort of task repetition, such as processing every item in a list, which is a task repetition, or checking user input until it is valid, it is also a task repetition, or maybe running a game loop over and over again. Right? So the task repetition is a key job that most of the programs do. And that repetition cannot be implemented without loops. So, loops in programming are used to create repetition. They allow us to execute a block of code again and again, multiple times. So, my friends, from this lecture, which is lecture number 23, we start learning the loops in C Sharp. When it comes to the loops in C Sharp, we have four basic loops, and they are called while loop, do while loop, for loop, and for each loop. So these are the four loops that we have in C Sharp. The first three loops in the list, while, do while, and for, are universal loops. That means every programming language has these loops. For each loop is also the part of most of the programming languages, but it is sometimes implemented in different ways. For example, in JavaScript, for each loop works differently. It works together with the function, and we call it for each function loop. Right? So first three loops are universal and you will find them in all the programming languages. So we are going to cover first three loops one by one in different lectures. In this lecture, we will learn the use of while loop, how do we code while loop, and the use of the while loop. In the coming lecture, we will learn do while loop, and then we will learn for loop. The last loop, which is for each loop, we will cover later on, because for each loop works together with a collection. We need a collection like an array, a list, a dictionary, etc. So as we learn the collections later on in our course, then we will definitely cover the for each loop, which is an important and very useful loop. So let's move on and see how do we code and work with the while loop. So our topic is loops in programming, and the loop we are going to cover here is while loop. Every loop has its own syntax, and so the while loop. When we code a while loop, we start with the reserved word while, followed by two small parentheses, and these two small parentheses are followed by code block or while body. Inside the small parentheses, we code a condition, and inside the loop block, which is marked with these curly braces, we write the code to repeat. So this is the syntax of the while loop. Now the question is, how does it execute? How does it work? The execution of the loop is quite simple. While loop will continue to repeat its code block as long as the condition here evaluate to true. That means as the condition here evaluates to true, the while loop will repeat the code. And then after the repetition, while loop will again evaluate the condition. If the condition is still true, while loop will repeat the code once again. And then again after the repetition, while loop will evaluate the condition. So it will continue in the same pattern as long as the condition evaluates to true. And once the condition evaluates to false, loop will stop working immediately. So one thing we know for sure now, the while loop just requires a true value in order to create a repetition. So that means if I write the boolean true here, the loop will continue to repeat the task without any interruption. So a while loop with a constant true value is a continuous loop, is an infinite loop. So this while loop will never be stopped because the condition is always true. One should be very careful while working with an infinite loop because the infinite loop can demand a lot of resources from the system. In order to stop an infinite loop, we use break statement. Break statement we are going to cover in coming lectures. So now we have a functional loop. Although the loop is infinite, but it will work. So what do we do? In the loop body, we simply print a string hello and run the application. And so you see the output. The loop is going very fast and repeating its code block. Hello, 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 hello. Let's close this window now. Now we know the syntax and the execution of the while loop. Let's now learn the ideal use of the while loop. Now let's suppose I want to repeat a task 10 times. So I will start with a variable, a loop variable which I will use in the condition to create a condition for the while loop. So I will create a variable. Let's say the name of the variable is count and I will put value 0 in it. And now I will create a condition in the loop, something like this, as long as the count is less than 10. So as long as the value of the count variable is less than 10, this condition will evaluate to true. And true means the loop will repeat its code block. And then inside the loop, somewhere we need to change the value of the count. If we don't do that, the value of the count will remain constant. And if the value remains constant, the loop is infinite loop. So what we're going to do, down there, we are going to increase the value by 1. So this increment by 1, because count is a loop variable, it is involved in this condition. So this increment by 1 is actually our way out. It will help us to stop the loop sometime somewhere. Now we are good. This loop is good, functional, and will generate 10 repetitions. If we compile this code manually, we start with the count value 0. 0 less than 10. Condition evaluates to true, and this string is printed in the console. And right after that, we are going to increase the count value, which will become 1. Loop will go to the condition again and try to evaluate the condition. Now the value of the count is 1. 1 less than 10, condition evaluates to true, and we will print the string hello once again. And after that, we are going to increase the count value once again. It will become 2. Evaluation 2 less than 10 is still true, and we will print, the loop will print the string hello in the console. The loop will continue the same way from the value 0 to 9. Sorry, 9. But when the value become 10, the loop will stop working because this condition won't evaluate to true. 10 less than 10, it false. So as the false comes here, loop will stop working and our control will go further down there. So let's run the program and see if we get 10 repetitions or not. And so you see 10 repetitions. Hello in the console 10 times. Now, the key point to remember here is that whenever you program a while loop, you must figure out a way out, just like we did here. If you don't figure out the way out, your loop will be an infinite loop. Let's move on and have some more experiments with the while loop. We are not done yet. In our first example, we decided the number of repetitions, 10 repetitions using the count variable, and we coded a suitable condition. And here we are incrementing the variable. So we coded like that. We wanted 10 repetitions. But in most of the conditions where we use while loop, we actually don't know the number of repetitions. For example, a use of the while loop in user input validation. In such case, if the user insert correct data, there will be no repetition. But if the user insert incorrect data, there will be one repetition. And if the user insert incorrect data once again, there will be another repetition. So the user is stuck in the loop until he or she provides correct data. So let's now have a user input validation example with the help of the while loop. Let's say we want to validate the password. So we need a password variable, which is empty. And now we will code a while loop like this. And the condition is important here. In the condition, we would say as long as the password not equals to secret. Secret is actually the password, and as long as the password variable has a value which is not equal to secret, we will be inside the loop. And inside the loop, we will ask the user to provide a password. Provide the password like this, and we'll save the password in the password variable like this. And then outside of the loop, we will print a console write line. We will say password accepted, access granted. Before we run this program, let's try to understand it. It's a very common way to validate user input. What we are doing here, we are actually letting the user come inside the loop and provide password. The password variable is an empty string from the beginning. So empty string is not equal to secret. Secret is our password. So empty string is not equal to secret. The condition evaluates to true. We will come inside the loop and here we will publish a message, provide the password, and the user will provide the password. We are going to save in the same variable password. After this cycle or repetition, the loop will go up here and try to evaluate the condition once again. Now let's say user does not provide secret. User write incorrect password like ABC. So the value ABC in the password variable is not equal to secret. The condition evaluates to true once again, and that means we will come inside the loop and there will be another repetition. And in that repetition, user provides a correct password, secret. So the value in the password variable is secret. Secret is not equal to secret. Condition evaluates to false. And that simply means correct password is provided. The value of the evaluation is false. While loop will stop working and we will go down and execute and run others statements. So this is how this piece of code is working. Let's now run this application and check it in the console. So here we go. Program is asking for the password. Let's provide incorrect password, ABC. We will come again inside the loop. Here you see, provide the password. Now I will provide once again a wrong password, XYZ. You see, password is not validated. And now I will provide correct password, secret. And as you can see, password accepted and access granted. So that was a good example, I think, to understand the functionality of the while loop. Let's now have one final example. In that example, we will force the user to enter a number which is in the range of 1 to 10. If the number is out of the range, we will catch the user immediately and won't let the user go until he or she provides the right number, correct number. So let's have a console write line first. Here we will print a message, provide a number 1 to 10 like this. Now in a variable, we are gonna read the number, and at the same time we need to convert it to integer. So as soon as number comes in the program and before using it somewhere, we will validate it. So here we are going to validate the number using the while loop. We're going to code a while statement like this. And the condition is very interesting here. We will say if the number is less than 1 or logical or gonna work here, number is greater than 10. And here we have a typo. It should be while. So if the number provided by the user is less than 10, this condition will become true. Here we have logical or. If one condition becomes true, the whole is true. And in other case, the number provided by the user is greater than 10, this condition becomes true. The one is true, the whole is true, and we will automatically come inside the while loop. Now we know the user has provided incorrect number. And in that case, we are going to force users to provide input again. And we don't need to create the variable again like this. And once the right number is provided, we can print a message for the user. And we can also print the number here. So when the wrong number is provided, we will automatically come inside the loop. And here we will force the user to provide correct number, otherwise there is no way out. So let's run the program and check the output. But before that, I wanna just deactivate this piece of code. Now we can run the program. So here we go. We need to provide a number between 1 to 10. Let's say I provide 11. You say I am now inside the loop, provide a number 1 to 10. I provide -1. Let's say once again, I'm stuck in the loop, the user is stuck in the loop. And as we provide the correct number, which is in the range 1 to 10, our number is accepted by the program. Let's say I provide number 9. Let's say you provided the correct number, which is 9. So my friends, that was a while loop we covered in this lecture. And I hope you now must have realized the importance of the loops in programming. In the next lecture, we will cover and learn the do while loop. I will see you there. Take care of you.